All right, very good evening to you all. This is Gurpal Singh from Gursur Education, and I am not going to wait further. If anyone wishes to join, they can join in between the lecture. Otherwise, in most of our students are working women, and they always require the recording lectures only. So this is why sometimes we provide only recording versions. Otherwise, sometime when I get free from my university soon, so I take the 2 or 3 lectures as well. Okay, so today there shall be one lecture because in paper one we are already very advanced and we have already covered all the things. If you go through from the schedule, you will get to know that the day today was assigned for basics of hypothesis. And hypothesis basics we have already gone through, not even the basics, but we have uh, covered the advanced hypothesis as well. Like we have gone through from T statistics, then Z statistics, then F, then analysis of variance. All these things we have already covered. Okay. So in this lecture, we are going to start a new subject. Okay, this is going to be new subject, and today we shall be talking about paper second specifically. Before starting this, I must tell you that we have already covered the statistics for paper second as well. Okay, we have completed whole of our study regarding statistics. That was the most important and highly scoring subject for your paper second. And in this video lecture, we are going to start uh, for the next subject. This is management principles, and this is very important as well. And this is also very high scoring. Although, if you go through from all the concepts, you can expect your at least 8 questions to be right. Okay, there will be total 10 questions from this specific subject. Okay, this is management principles and organization behavior. We shall be studying this particular subject, and a total of 10 questions in paper 1 shall be asked from this specific topic or this specific subject. And this is very easy to go through, but still I always tell to my students that you cannot go beyond 8 questions, right? Okay, 2 questions are always posted in a way that it's very difficult to answer because they just ask the questions out of syllabus. Okay, but in case of a statistics, the topic which we have already gone through, the subject which we have already covered, there is high probability of making all the questions right. All the 10 questions can be made right, and this is my experience. We have done that. Okay, so your focus should be on those subject firstly which are very high scoring. Don't go for those subjects which are your favorite one. Okay, because equal attention must be given. The total weightage of the paper shall be 100 questions. There are in total 10 subjects for paper second. Okay, so from each subject there shall be 10 questions. Okay, so the weightage is equal. So this is why your strategy should be to devote equal attention for all the subjects. And I suggest that you should go from those subjects firstly which are high scoring and which are having the high probability of getting all the questions right. So now we move further, and before moving further, as the convention is there, I have to take your quick confirmation if my voice is completely audible to you. Can you hear me? Can you all hear me? Just need your quick confirmation so that I can start my lecture, and this is going to be the very first day and very important one as well. Okay, now I have got the confirmation, not going to wait further. So as you all know, there are 10 subjects in total. Each and every subject has number of basics. Okay, in a statistics, I taught you so many things from basic to advanced level. In the research, we have studied about the types of research, the philosophies, the backgrounds, all the things which were necessary to go from basic to advanced level. In a teaching aptitude, we studied about the teaching philosophies, some backgrounds, the histories, then the educational philosophies, these kind of things we have gone through. What I mean to say by these lines, I only mean to say that each and every subject has its historical background. It has some philosophies, it has some approaches. In the same way, we did like teaching the research aptitude, the statistics. In the same way, there are number of philosophies for other subjects as well, whether this is management, whether this is communication, or this is human resources management, or anything. Okay, it has a complete background. Now today I shall be clearing your concepts regarding the historical and conceptual background regarding the management approaches. And today we shall study in a very great way. How this will be done? I'm not going to make this lecture completely readable on the screen. Okay, I shall be involving my pen and my letter pad in the maximum way, so that I can write and you don't need to read the lines. Only the points have been written. I think for only some slides, the lines have been written, like conceptual lines, which are necessary, who is the author, who has propounded some basic theory. Otherwise, each and everything shall be taught to you in explanations way. Okay, so that it becomes more interesting for learning the concepts. Otherwise, everything is already with you. What I speak here, the same thing we provide you. Okay, so today I have changed some way. I hope you all like this. Now I'm just going to share the screen. So what I have told you, I have told only that first of all, I shall clear all the historical and conceptual background of the management. There were three main approaches for starting this particular subject, and after that we shall be starting about the functions of management, and lastly we shall be doing the principles of management. These things we have to go through. Okay, so in case these are not covered in one lecture, then we shall be taking another lecture as well. So now I'm just going to share the screen so that you can see what is visible to you. So these are the details. Okay, so this is about management valuation. Okay, so today we shall be learning about management, and this is going to be the next subject, second subject. Okay, this is second subject from the point of view of a second paper. And for paper one, we have already covered a lot of things. We are advanced for 2 or 3 days, I think. So this is management. So first of all, we shall learn about the term management. After that, we shall be going through about all these things. Okay, first of all, we shall be learning about management. I hope that you would have gone through. I know that you are sound enough. Number of my students are working women, and they have completed their post graduation years back. Like some of my students are there who have completed their post graduation in the year 2010, when I was in, I think I think in graduation first year or second year only. Okay, so even these kind of students are there. So I believe that you have at least the basic understanding of this, but we shall be going through what the meaning and core concept of management is. So what is management? To manage anything. To manage anything is management. Okay, to manage anything is management. You are a working woman, or you can be a housewife. Okay, you manage a lot of things in your daily life, a lot of things. Okay, you manage your house. Okay, you manage all the accessories. You do number of things to manage your home structure. Okay, so this is all the management. Okay, to manage anything is management. This is the very simple definition, okay, of management. Otherwise, what the bookish language says, this simply says getting things done by others. Done by others is management. Getting things done by others is management. So book says like this as well. But to a layman, or for understanding it from the point of view of your real life structure, management is to manage anything. Okay, anything you come across. Okay, I have observed that number of my students are business women as well. Okay, business women as well. Okay, they have started any kind of startups. Okay, uh, they have started their own business. Okay, so there are number of things associated with a specific business. Okay, there are number of things. These can be anything. Like first of all, you have to plan what to sell. Okay, then you have to plan about your product. Then you have to plan about your marketing. Okay, you have to plan about your customers. Okay, now what is this all? This all is management. Okay, you manage all the things. You try to manage all the things in a way that it provides you or it gives you maximum returns out of your investment. So this is all management. When you manage something, simply this is management. This is and nothing else. And I must tell you, they are not going to ask about the definition. Why I'm telling you all these things just for the reason that the upcoming concepts in the management should become easy for you, and that should be easy for you only if you understand this from the core manner. So now what you have to do, you have to keep this in mind, and while doing your houseworks or anything, you have to remind your mind in multiple times that you are managing something. While doing anything, while doing your housework or anything, you have to call your mind and you have to ask your mind, you have to tell your mind that you are managing something. Okay, so this is management. This is all about management. So now what we have to do, we have to go through how the management emerged actually. Okay, how this emerged. So for each and every topic, every subject, like this is economics or financial management or human resources management, consumer behavior, teaching aptitude, research, or anything, each and every subject has his historical backgrounds. And you all know that there are always some authors which have given some theories, some thoughts or something like which can make the concept very easy. Okay, in a teaching aptitude we studied about number of approaches. In education we studied about number of theoretical backgrounds. Okay, in the same way there are some management thoughts which I think are necessary for going through. Okay, they can ask you question from this, and I must tell you there are only three approaches. Okay, the first is a classical approach, the second is behavioral approach, the third is quantitative approach. Only this has been written in the slides, and each and everything I shall teach you from my side. Okay, so these are the three approaches which are there for the evaluation of management thought. Okay, so first we shall be doing about classical approach. What is classical approach? This was the first approach, about the very first and the oldest approach for the management. Okay, management, what is management? To manage anything is management. To manage anything, whether this is your house, whether this is your business, whether this is your job, whether this is your classroom or anything, when you are trying to manage this in a way so that it gives you maximum benefit, this is management. Okay, so classical approach is the oldest approach. Okay, and this is further categorized into three philosophies, the three historical philosophies of management. So what I have taught you till now, this is very simple. Okay, evaluation of management thought is there. The first is classical approach. There are three approaches for management: classical approach, then behavioral approach, then quantitative approach. And in the next slide, what I have taught you, that under the classical approach, first of all, the classical approach is the first approach and the oldest approach for the management. And this is further categorized into three parts. Okay, three historical philosophies are there, and these threes are associated with different personalities. So what is the first one? These are the names of these philosophies are: the first is scientific management, The second is administrative management, and the last one is bureaucratic model. These are the three approaches to management under the classical approach. Okay, you can simply say these are three philosophies of management under the classical approach, and the classical approach is the oldest and the first approach to the management studies. So now we shall be going one by one from all these philosophies. The first is a scientific management that was given by Frederick Winslow Taylor. This is considered one of the oldest approach. Okay, so Frederick Winslow Taylor, the founder of scientific management, he was the person who gave this name. I'm sure you would have heard this name a lot of times in your graduation, undergraduation. I'm just going to give you a very simple example, then you shall be able to understand what the scientific management is and what's the meaning of that. Okay, you have you do houseworks daily. Okay, you do houseworks daily. There are a lot of things to be done. Okay, like about rooms you have to do a lot of things, about kitchen you have to do a lot of things. Okay, and about floors you have to do a lot of things, and about rest of the things you have to perform a lot of things on daily basis. Okay, what you do as a sound housewife, what you do, you simply assign time for all these things. Okay, you have, I'm sure you would have given, because my students uh, are very sound. Okay, because I personally know everyone. I know about what they do. Okay, because I am in an interaction with you all for a very longer period by now. You do a lot of things for all these things, and you have divided your time in a way that you don't waste your time. Okay, I'm sure you would have divided your time in a way that you shall devote morning time for rooms this much time, then for a kitchen this much time, for floors this much time, and you have managed all these things in a way that you don't waste your time. And secondly, you finish everything before time. I'm sure you do that. Okay, what is this? This is called scientific management. Okay, this is called scientific management. This is the very simple concept. I have given you a real life example. You just divide your time in a way that everything is performed at a time or before time. Okay, so this is about scientific management. Second example I'm going to give you. This is that in a factory or anything. Okay, there are number of tasks. This is task A, task B, task C, task D, task E. Number of things are there. Okay, and number of employees are there. Okay, what the manager do? He assigns the task as per the capability of individual worker. Okay, if he feels that somebody can perform the job A efficiently and fastly, and then he assigns a job to specific person. In the same way, the jobs are assigned on the basis of capability and performance. This is called scientific management. So that the work should be finished before time, at time, scientifically, quickly as possible. There should be maximum return. There should be maximum return in any way. So this was the concept of a scientific management. It said that the work should be divided in a way that the maximum return can be obtained, and it can be performed speedily and before or on time. So this was about scientific management. Then there was the concept of administrative management philosophy. The person who was associated with this name was Henry Fayol. This is also one of the oldest philosophies of management. Okay, and let me make you clear, still this is widely being used. Okay, because this concept is widely being used, and I must tell you, he has given, you would have understood, you would have gone through for number of times from the 14 principles of management given by by Henry Fayol. You would have gone through from number of times, but I must tell you, number of organization or 99% of the organization in the world are not applying these principles fully. And I must tell you, if they are applying these principles, then they would get maximum returns. And this is, they have uh, applied their mind in a way that they have given the complete administrative management approach. Okay. So I must tell you the meaning of that. After that, I shall give you an example, then we shall move further. What is administrative management? Okay. It's simply saying it's not about how to do work, how to do work. Okay. It's not about that, because scientific management was concerned about how to do your work. It was about that. Okay. But administrative management is not about how to do or how to perform a specific work. Then what is this about? Administrative management is about how you should administer or manage or plan your work. Okay, so this is about that. They gave some administrative policies. They told that how the overall plan should be made regarding a specific work and how this plan should be executed. How it shall be performed was not the concern of administrative management. The only concern of administrative management was what should be the plan and how this should be executed, how you should administer a specific work. So this was about functional or processes approach, and this is based on the ideas of Henry Fayol. This was all about that. Now, what's the difference between these two? Scientific management told you how to do a work efficiently so that you get maximum return and you finish your work before or on time. This was scientific management. But administrative management told you that how you should plan or administer your work only, how you should get things done by others. So this was the crux of administrative management, how you should plan, which function you should perform, what principles you should apply. So these kind of things are covered under the administrative management. This takes the concern as a whole. Okay, a company as a whole. This study a company as a whole. Okay, and it's concerned about administering a company as a whole. It does not talk about a specific work or how to perform that specific work. So I have told you about administrative management. Next, there is a bureaucratic model. This was given by Max Weber, and he is concerned with bureaucratic model. And this is very harsh model, I must tell you. This is also a very oldest philosophies or approach for the management. And what it told you, it simply tells you that you have to take work from your employees. You have to take work from your employees. Okay, in any way. If they are good in working, then you must reward them. If they are not good in working, or if they are lazy, then you have to punish them. Okay, you can cut their salaries, you can cut their rewards, you can cut their remuneration as well. This is the reason why this model is known as harsh as well. Harsh model, bureaucratic model. This was given by Max Weber. Okay, they were of the opinion that the employees do not work at their own. You have to motivate them regularly. You can punish them or you can take any action against them if they are not working properly, but you must take work from them. Okay, so this was the bureaucratic model given by Max Weber. So what I have taught you till now, there are three management approaches. The first is classical, then behavioral, then quantitative. In classical, there are three basic philosophies. The first one is known as scientific management, which was given by Frederick Winslow Taylor. Then there is administrative management, which was given by Henry Fayol, the last is bureaucratic model given by Max Weber. Now the next approach after classical approach is a behavioral approach or behavioral model, and the person associated with this is Elton Mayo. They did 8 years long research, which is famously known as Hawthorne's experiments, and they studied about the human relations, okay, and they tried to find what is the behavior of the employees regarding a specific work. So this is famously known as behavioral approach, and since then this is in action. Okay, so this is also known as human relations approach, and this was originated by Elton Mayo. They did the research for 8 longer years, and this research is known as Hawthorne experiment. And after that, they studied about the human behavior and their attention on the human beings in the organization and their behavior toward works. So this was all about behavioral approach, and the very first man associated with the behavioral approach was Elton Mayo. I have taught you this, okay. So the next one is modern approach. Now, what does modern approach do? This is just a quantitative approach. Nowadays, there are a number of mathematical models. Okay, mathematical approaches, quantitative approaches, operational approaches. You would have heard the name of LPP or linear programming. Linear programming. Okay, you would have understood and learned about these. Okay, so these are the things which are necessary to go through. Any specific name is not associated with the modern or quantitative aptitude approach. Okay, so this only says that the decision making theory, the mathematical approaches, quantitative approaches, operational approaches are there nowadays, which tells you how to manage your concern, how to manage, okay, how to manage your company, how to manage your concern. This is the very recent approach. This is used nowadays very widely at a very wide scale, because nowadays you can see that there are this is a technological era. uh, Although the oldest philosophies are needed, but nowadays there are complete computerized system. You can manage a lot of your things technically, okay. So this is why modern approach is there, which refers you number of mathematical and quantitative models for managing your concern. So this was all about the things I wish to teach you, okay. This was about evolution of management thought. Now we have to go through from the basic functions of management. As I told you that only some lines regarding approaches are written, otherwise everything is completely blank. I will give you one example and I shall teach you all the functions necessary for understanding. Okay, suppose you have opened a business. Suppose you are opening a new business. You are opening a new business, okay. uh, and this is going to be about the online education. We can take its example because this is going to be easy one, okay. Because nowadays there are number of educators available. I'm feeling that they are doing, I don't know why. Okay, so online education, you are planning to go with this business nowadays. Okay, you are going to start. What should be your first job? You shall think about how to start. Okay, how to start. Then you shall think what things are necessary. Okay, you shall think about that. Okay, how much investment is needed, you shall think about that, okay. Then how many, how much audience should be there, audience should be there. Then which class I shall teach. Okay, so all these things you shall think in your mind before starting any kind of online business. Okay, so what is this all? Answering all these questions is known as planning. That means you are planning for your business. Okay, you are planning for your business. So this is about planning. This is the first function of management. Okay, so you are going to open any business online, then what you have to do, you have to plan about this first. And what is planning? Finding the answers of all related questions, finding answers of all the related questions beforehand, so that you can move further. This is known as planning. When you try to find all the W or H type questions, this is known as planning. This is the very first function for any management concern. The next is organizing. Then you shall organize everything. Okay, what organize? You shall organize all your accessories. Okay, you shall make the complete structure. Okay, then you shall be planning about how to purchase a camera, or then your laptop, PC, or anything, then your writing pad, letter pad, or anything which you have to purchase. So this is known as organizing. You have to organize everything with you. Okay, and this is not about a specific business. Each and every business has to go through from this phase. Okay, first of all, they have to plan what to do. After that, they have to organize all the accessories related to that. Okay, if anyone is wishing to start a motor vehicle shops, okay, then uh, they have to organize all the accessories or spare parts are relating to this specific accessory. Okay, so this is about to organize. And after that, there is staffing. Certainly you would need a staff or a team. Okay, you have to hire them. So this is the third function. Staffing means hiring the expert personals, hiring the expert personnel or people, so that you can give them or assign them work. So this was third. First of all, you have to make plan. After that, you have to organize all your accessories. Then you have to hire the expert personnel so that you can assign them the task. Then you have to direct them. This is directing. You have to order them to work for you. You have to get things done, from them. Okay, so this is about the next or the fourth function of management. You have to direct them, you have to order them. Like I give order to my team that you have to prepare till evening the video lecture or the test series for a specific subject. So this is known as a directing. Then some author says that there is coordinating as well. Some author they says that there is controlling only. Okay, but we can do that. This is coordination. Okay, this is the fifth function. If in my team there are 3 or 4, in my team, basically the major team which we have, although we have teachers as well, and this is a very great team, but majorly there are 3 people only in my team. Okay, so this is me, then here is Chetna Rekhi, then here is Amrit Kaur. These are the 3 persons associated with me, which are very close and to whom I assign the work, and they assign the work further. Okay, so this is about coordination. Even if I am not present, even I have to go to my university on daily basis. Okay, I am a researcher and we have to do research and report on daily basis. Sometime if I am not available, then there is an extreme kind of coordination between me and my team. They do the work of explanation videos or assigning the test series for particular test. This is known as coordination. And lastly, there is controlling. There are some factors which we feel that they can create the failure or they can create the trouble for us. Then we just completely neglect them. or we remove them from our daily tasks. So this is about controlling. Where you are lacking, you have to control yourself, you have to change your strategy. This is the sixth or the last function of the management. So it was all about this. Some author says there are only 5 basic functions. These are planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. I did not write anything, but I wish to teach you from my side. This is why in individual slides I have written that. And I hope you would have understood all these. Now we have to move further for the principles of management. Okay, but I genuinely believe there is a need of 2 classes today, because you also need the break and I also need the break of at least 5 to 10 minutes. So the next class shall be taken after 10 minutes from now onwards. It's not going to be the day for video 1 only. And I hope that in continuity you shall be attending that lecture as well, because I have to inform something really important about tomorrow's lecture and the test series as well. So from now onwards, after 10 minutes, I shall be taking the lecture on principles of management. I must tell you again, I have written only the names of the principles. Whatever I shall teach you, I shall give you examples only. Otherwise, each and everything has already been written. This is not of my style to write everything on the slides and just repeating the lines. Okay, so you have to take the lecture, and thank you so much for joining me in this lecture. We shall be meeting soon.